والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. قل رب زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. لا يؤاخذكم الله باللغو في أيمانكم ولكن يؤاخذكم بما كسبت قلوبكم والله غفور حليم. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. So in the previous verse it was mentioned that we are not to use our oaths indiscriminately in, causing those oaths to prevent us from doing good, or taking an oath even worse than that, taking an oath that we would do something which is inappropriate or against the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And on the other hand, there are also oaths which are taken which are called al-laghu, which are not going to actually take place in terms of the injunctions which take place or which are incumbent upon those who undertake oaths. لا يؤاخذكم الله باللغو في أيمانكم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't take you to account for those ineffectual oaths, those oaths that don't take effect. And there's several instances in which this is the case, which we're going to explain inshallah shortly بإذن ولكن يؤاخذكم بما كسبت قلوبكم. But moreover, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take you to account for what you have become firm and determined in your hearts, for what your hearts have actually your hearts have كسبت قلوبكم, what your hearts have earned. In other words, your hearts have become firm and resolved over the particular matter, in this case, in the oath which you have undertaken. So this laghu fi aymanikum, this ineffectual oaths, so what are those? So perhaps someone gives an oath about something, wallahi I didn't do that, or that didn't happen, and he didn't really take cognizance of that. He didn't really have that feeling in his heart that he was really undertaking an oath, and it turns out that actually it wasn't really like that. Perhaps he didn't really even know what the real situation was, and according to his understanding, that's what it was. That's another possibility. Wallahi, I don't think that happened. Wallahi, this should... And it actually, the reality is otherwise. But according to his, as we say, i'tiqad, according to what he believes and what he, understands, it was according to the oath that he gave. And also, if he didn't actually mean to give an oath, but it just sort of a slip of the tongue. So this is not something that his heart was firm upon, and actually, so it's without volition, as you say, without real intention. And then also it's mentioned that, it's the custom, particularly in the Arab tradition, in the Arab language, la wallahi, nam wallahi, wallahi this, wallahi that, everything, which is actually not a good thing to do. Imam Shafi radiallahu anhu has mentioned that he never used to take an oath, period. So taking the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a very serious issue. So, we would do well to be very prudent and judicious in how we would take the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you mentioned earlier, taking the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lightly is a great commission. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may save us from all of that. Wallahu ghafurun halim. And as we call, this is in the Arabic language we call a jumla tadhyiliya. In other words, a phrase which sort of summarizes or has direct connection with that which came earlier. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is oft forgiving, most merciful, most forbearing, Halim, that he could easily take account and take us to task, but he overrides that, and he doesn't take us to account for those types of oaths which otherwise he definitely could. For that we should seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness and be careful about how we take the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And bihi at-tawfiq wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.